A very good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever in the world you may be. My name is Rob Fox, founder of Active Childhood UK, and I am here today with a good friend of mine and a debut children's author, the amazing Maria Sanchez, who has just released Ollie and Lola's Woodland Adventure. Maria, thank you very much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Maria, you've just released your first children's book, which is amazing to see, Ollie and Lola's Woodland Adventure. What inspired you to write this children's book?
The children in my nursery, they inspired me to write this book. I wrote a book just for the children. I wasn't going to publish the book, and my idea was to write quite a few books.
One idea led to another. This book's now been published. What was the writing process like for you?
Well, they took me about 3 years. I was thinking about writing for the children to enjoy in the nursery, and I didn't know I was going to send it to the publisher, and the publisher liked the book.
What do you find is the most difficult part of writing a children's story?
See, the most difficult is to finish the end, how the book is going to be end, because I think the end has to be beautiful for children, because they're always looking for the end of the book.
And what I love about this book is the illustrations and the sort of how relatable they are and the things that children have seen day to day. What else do you find a key characteristic of writing a good children's book?
I think when you think about writing a children's book, you have to think about the characters, you have to think about the illustration. Colors is very important because children will look into all that, and how you will finish your book, and everything what is going into the page, which is interest to the children.
What comes to you first, Maria? The plot or the characters?
Characters. It's very important.
So tell me a bit about Ollie and Lola. Tell me, why did you choose them as your main characters within the story?
Well, what happened is when I got Ollie as a little puppy, and he was very cute puppy. So I used to take him to the nursery, and I keep taking him all the time, and the children, they used to laugh him. So one day they say to me, "Oh, have you got another puppy? Or have you got any more animal?" So I realized that maybe Ollie needed a little friend. So I went to the shelter in central London, and I got Lola from the rescue. Lola was very frightened. She didn't want to be with us or play with Ollie. I don't know what life Lola had before I rescued her, and I think, Ollie, every day he tried to teach her, and in the end there was good friends.
You've mentioned that that you adopted Lola almost as a companion for Ollie.
Really.
Do you see yourself adding more characters in further books?
I think because I'm planning to do the series, I will introduce more animals into the series.
Maybe Maria Sanchez needs to open an animal shelter.
Well, maybe. You never know.
Maria, as a creative person you are, I see this in your writing. I see the way you're engaged. Your children in the nursery sharing this book, and I've been fortunate to see the engagement levels of the children whilst your animals visit. And you pick out in your story about friendship, about companionship and also about feelings and emotions. How necessary do you feel it to be that we discuss these topics in your work and advocacy for young children?
Well, I think it's very important, because when we go a class, a new child coming into, I think that, to me, I think the other children who are settled in the class should help the children who are new coming into the class and help them to settle in.
And I see that in the relationship between Ollie and Lola throughout the book. Is this one of the main threads that you wanted to sow through your debut children's book?
Yes, it's so important. And I also think it's, it's good for children to like animals as well.
If you had to do something different as a child or adult to become a better writer, what would it be?
I think if you want to write children stories, you have to listen to the children. The children will guide you to write to your stories.
What I love about this book in particular is the relationship between the two characters. The, camaraderie, the fact that they're there to support each other throughout. You mentioned that Lola, for example, had a difficult start.
I think Ollie was he's a really good dog. He got good nature, and he was very, very friendly, and he helped her when she came into our family. He helped her all the way and give it time to her to settle, and that is all about what happened in the book, helping all the way.
And how do you brainstorm your ideas?
Well, the ideas is, children will give you the ideas. If you ask children about your book, what are you planning to do, he will give you the ideas. And that's what happened in my book.
Is there any plans to expand on this and maybe introduce a thing like a musical or a play or even a song?
Yeah, it's going to be a play. It's going to be based in Ollie and Lola.
Fantastic. And what I love with what you're doing is encompassing your family, the community of learners and children that you look after, your pets, who are most importantly your family. And this, I can see lots of ideas threading in. What I want to ask you, Maria, what brings story times alive in your settings? And do you think there'll be any room for props to help promote this story to come alive for the children that you look after?
There will be for the future, yeah. I'm looking into that at the moment.
Maria, thank you very much for joining me in conversation today.
Thank you so much, Rob. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ollie and Lola's Woodland Adventure is now available from all good outlets worldwide.